There's new heat on Supreme Court Justice Samuel Alito. Revelations that the symbol of this so-called, quote, stop the steal movement, an upside-down flag, was flown outside his house for days in the key period after the insurrection. Just as many people now convicted of crimes flew it that way at the Capitol on January 6th itself. Now, it's a grave scandal if Justice Alito witnessed the violence of January 6th and then sought to associate with that side, or the underlying lies and conspiracy theories that fed those grievances, suggesting that Trump's legal loss he did in fact lose was actually some kind of conspiracy theory steal. That's a scandal for a justice who also has to oversee and rule in related cases, including of those very defendants and convicts. And it's a scandal even if he stopped short of officially supporting criminal violence. The New York Times broke this story, which raises questions about whether Justice Alito can even rule on these cases and whether his possible public support, you see the flag there on the right, of these crimes against the United States also make him unfit to serve on the court at all. Justice Alito now can see this is at a minimum a bad look. He's responding by distancing himself from the flying of the flag of the lying movement at the heart of January 6th. So before I show you his new statement, I want to be clear. He's not claiming that he could just fly the flag as a matter of free speech. He's not elaborating on where he stands on the lies associated with flying the flag that way, claiming a steal. He is instead suggesting that the flag flew over his own home for days as a kind of separate family decision that was made without him. He now asserts, and he didn't say this under oath, but he said it, that his story is that his wife independently flew the flag over his home, and that while he lives there, he was not in any way involved in that decision. The statement says, I had no involvement whatsoever in the flying of the flag. It was briefly placed by Mrs. Alito in response to a neighbor's use of objectionable and personally insulting language on yard signs, end quote. This is, and I say this respectfully, an unacceptable, silly, and possibly misleading statement by a sitting member of the Supreme Court. It is not, for example, what the court accepts when defendants and lawyers submit material to the court. The idea that a random civilian saying something somewhere would then justify an otherwise questionable or unacceptable association with the January 6th violence in that key week is an explanation so thin that it's hard to follow, or worse, it sounds misleading. The inverted flag does not fly anymore over Alito's home. The court is presiding over two related cases, and the court has this ethics code that was recently promulgated precisely over these kinds of problems. It says justices must disqualify themselves, recuse from cases, if their impartiality might reasonably be questioned. The court was pushed into that ethics code because of Justice Alito, along with Justice Thomas, who have been taking huge benefits, sums of money transferred to them through sometimes secret, uber-rich vacations from people who have business on the court and who they met because of their lobbying for the court. In other words, it is worse than it even looks.
The story itself is shameful, Ari. It's absolutely shameful. And frankly, we have to look at the overall logic of what Alito is trying to say here. All of this supposedly stems from a neighbor putting up a sign that says F Donald Trump. Of the thousands of responses you could have to F Donald Trump, you could, as a judge, you could ignore it. You could call the police and say, hey, that's offensive. You could take it down. You could say, hey, Nipsey deserved it. You could say all sorts of terrible things, right? If you want to have some particular response to that statement, if you find it offensive. But to associate yourself with January 6th, of all the responses that you can have, is indicative of somebody who was already aligned with a violent insurrection. And that is absolutely inexcusable for someone who was on the Supreme Court. And that's why this is so dangerous and speaks to a larger problem about how our court has been operating with impunity for years.